So why are you attempting to be the federal government and monitoring my viewing habits now, Michael?
Well, when you use our podcast YouTube channel to watch whatever it is you watch, and I see stuff on the feeds whenever I check it for numbers, because it's well known, I check download numbers, view counts every
And you
hour.
just want to, creep on me because you don't have the self-restraint to be like, Shane has to upload an awful lot of material here that takes longer than the 10-second clips that I do. So he's basically chained to a computer while we wait for files to upload here, and maybe he might occasionally be inclined to entertain himself while this is happening. So let me just creep on this and see what's actually manifesting into the ether. You can't just do me a solid and not judge me like Courtney looking at our Instagram feed and being like, oh, he likes thick girls. Like, why can't y'all just understand that I had this all to myself for a long time, and you interlopers elected to just come in and start inconveniently auditing my habits without my permission.
Justice for Shane.
Yeah, I mean, this is really just, it's unfortunate. And as a white man, I just cannot be encumbered to change my behavior to please anyone. Obviously, this is documented. So I'm gonna watch girls being strapped to, like random tether amusement park rides and see whether their breasts fall out as they're being whipped up into the atmosphere. I can't help that. When they recommend that, I'm gonna watch that because, it's like two dogs humping on the side of the road. I can't not look at that.
I mean, you're not the only person. When I saw those pop up on the feeds, I watched them as well.
I'm fairly certain that's what happened because I think you watched a couple and then it was recommended. So then I started watching them because I was like, this is fascinating. People just film this as like a voyeuristic thing. So in the midst of all of that, yes, there was some discussion about the Japanese have finally had a breakthrough with realistic robots. And the whole time I'm sitting here going like, really, it's not a realistic robot. It's if someone has fetishized one of the Gelflings from the Dark Crystal and really wants to have sex with Kira, that's basically what that robot's going to look like. But the videos are also not very good at cloying what their actual intention of saying is like, and their inside parts work a lot more sophisticated than, they had previously. And I'm like, you can just say you have a well-lubricated fake vagina in the new robot, and it's really impressed you because there's somehow some servo motor that helps it to clamp down on what limited amount of genital that you're offering to the machine. Like, I just... Anyway, so thank you for bringing up the fact that I'm fascinated by things that are not really comfortable to discuss in polite society, like on a public medium where we're basically broadcasting our thoughts on the internet to anyone who might listen.
Well, it was only a couple, and I was going to ask off air, but you're like, no, let's record. I do have to say I appreciate your enjoyment of cats, specifically Cat Island, because that popped up a lot, and I would watch some of those too, because cat videos are pretty fucking adorable.
Absolutely.
So there was no judgment, no anything. It was just interesting when I check it, and that's the first thing I see. It's not like I can avert my eyes to the feed, to the wall that's on there, and just look at numbers.
Glad that, it's not John who's running that feed, because heaven help you, all you'd see were like clips about brand new guitar effects pedals, microphone performance within a particular DAW, and then gagging noises of women who are trying to shove their feet into their own mouth.
That does remind me, I haven't seen a lot of ASMR on the feed as of late, so I thought that was a little interesting. I was going to ask you about that. But yeah, no, I'm glad John doesn't access the feed, because that seems pretty dry.
Now, some of the ASMR stuff does get really tawdry. You got people who are just avidly licking their microphones shaped like human ears and trying to,
no.
Still trying to figure out how I feel about that. That's why I'm doing so much research. It's important to qualify.
It's going to be a new episode talking about the ASMR world.
And speaking of bodily reactions to uncontrollable mouth noises, Heil
Behold?
I guess, by the eternal. Behold. And Heil come slingers, and welcome to another genital-stirring installment of this, the Disinformed podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney. And I'm John.
No, that is not how he sounds. Let's be fair. I'm John, and I really think you're gonna love this show because dick, balls, shit, and pussy.
Yeah, you hit the check mark. I have a little list of things I wanted to say, and you just got them all in one fell swoop. For
those of you who aren't watching on a visual medium, I had to stick both of my fingers, into my nostril to drag it forward to try to approximate the projection of that proboscis. It was a difficult time.
Ooh.
Oof.
Yeah, so we missed you last week, Courtney, immensely. And
I can tell right off the top it was immediately, we can say anything we want now.
I mean, I think he said that within the first minute of us, recording, so, yeah.
I'm here, I brought my assets, what more do you want from me?
I still try to figure out what the implication was of that, but it's like... it's just, you can say she has boobs. It's a thing. But...
it's a burden that I am cursed to bear.
I absolutely relate and understand. Because, it's really fun having conversations with people, politely trying to course correct them of my eyes are here. No, I'm going to be very, I'm going to be open and honest with all of you. And
oh, God.
It is very tough being a man avec breasts. Talking to someone who's just staring down because yes, I know my nipples are out, man. I know it's a real sideshow carny attraction on my chest happening right now because I'm a bearded lady or I'm a titted man. I don't know what the reaction is, but yeah, I have several coworkers who I adore. They're very lovely people, but one of them's gay as the day is long. And just cannot help but stare at my breasts. And I'm not quite... it's difficult to be vulnerable like this, Michael. Don't scoff at me.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you.
But yeah, it really does start to screw with your head after a while. It's I'm not used to being objectified this way. I'm used to being on the other end of the spectrum. I don't know how it feels to be the object of the meat market display. So I'm still coming to terms with that. So Courtney... I can empathize.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
There's my mansplaining of what it feels like to be sexy. Ladies everywhere, if you have, breasts that are constantly exposed by malfitting clothing or your own will and comfort with your body, I feel you and I'll feel you. I'm trying to will myself into caring about anything right now, and this is
no, it's good.
I'm dialing up to try to be funny. This is as close as I'm going to get tonight. So, otherwise, I'm going to be Ben Stein, just plugging my way through this show.
Bueller.
Michael.
Oh no,
Michael.
That almost sounds like warning, Michael.
At some point, you should definitely pick a character, though, and stick through the whole episode and just go for it. I think that'd be great.
Well, I can't keep my fingers on my nose for that long. Otherwise, I'd try tonight. But we'll move on.
Should do a Stephen King. You did a great impression of him last week.
See, I still think it was awful. It was close, but it not. My head's not nearly that size, unfortunately. You can interpret that however you will, but. I had to give up on my Stephen King voyage. I am now 85% through the entirety of The Walking Dead, the comics. So I have burnt through that within a 4-day period.
Yeah, your Goodreads was Shane finished 17 things. I was holy crap.
Yep. It's that was how I was sublimating my frustration with life in general and anxiety, is watching the collapse of society and how people will comport themselves when we can openly stab things without repercussions.
I understand that.
Mhm.
I play a lot of apocalyptic city builders, so there's a certain fascination with it.
No
Yeah.
doubt. But I see that both of you are also narrowly avoiding the dumpster fires that is, our collective reality right now. So congrats, condolences, any way you want to take it.
It is nice being busy with research, and not having the time to care about things outside of that. So it is.
But are you
nice.
busy with research, Michael?
Yes, actually, I've spent every waking moment, aside from right now, doing research because I
So-
have a presentation that I got to do on Monday. So that's fun.
Ooh, well, you're a few days behind. I'm still going to wind up paying for an airplane ticket, apparently, because as of right now, this is as of recording date. When this is released, it will have been a few days beyond. But Dr. Michael was presenting his dissertation, and
he defended.
Wow.
Oh, that's
he
fantastic.
defended today. So we might be on the side of officially him being Dr. Michael as of right now. So it's silly to retroactively wish good luck. I wished him good luck this morning. So it looks like all of your dedicated efforts to catch up are still not going to reach the goal, and I'm going to wind up being out a plane ticket.
What can I say? There is a reason why I am called the Disappointment. So, the Disappointment Podcast.
Or the broken ring piece.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
the broken
we are
ring
gonna
light.
we are going to have to get there at some point, because I think all three of us on this call have lamented the fact that our research these days has become a painful process.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a lot of episodes started, but not a lot of finished. So,
So we can just restructure and reformat the show. We're 4 seasons in. We gave
Yeah,
we gave it a good run.
just freeform it every day. Just talk about poop and dirty things. Just
No,
yeah.
new podcast is called They Should See a Therapist, and it's just us talking to each other.
We
and
go
at the end, the people who listen are like, God damn, they should see a therapist.
We do something through an online telehelp like BetterHelp or something. We like sign up for their service and just have one person, but then we somehow set it up to where the other 3 people are listening into the therapy session. They provide
So what you're
running
saying-
commentary.
You're suggesting we chatterbait our way through online therapists? We'll just keep pinging through once we exhaust a free trial with one place, just move to another.
Hope that it gets popular enough that we can start a Patreon and then actually pay for therapy.
I still want to kill all of my friends this week. Like, was this a problem? Oh yeah, I forgot I wasn't talking to you before.
Well, this is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how this plays out.
Lost my legs. In any event, I think that's a decent enough bit of pre-roll. But Courtney, you're alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a question,
If
Michael,
you say
not
so.
not
I
declarative.
didn't hear the up tilt, the up lilt, or whatever, the, live? So I got confused there.
I'm not Scooby-Doo, for God's sakes.
Well, I mean, Courtney just did it there when she was like, what? When you ask a question, you up lilt?
If you're annoying, maybe.
Well, I mean, not that. I'm exaggerating, obviously.
When are
but-
you not?
Yeah, I'm an exaggeration.
I'm an exaggerated disappointment.
Yeah, I've leveled up. Some people get a doctor, get doctor as a title that they, when they level up all that stuff. I just get
Good people.
exaggerated. Yeah. People that actually are worth something. Yeah.
We have no intrinsic worth other than at a meat market, my friends. Just bear that in mind.
Well, yeah. I mean, going with the nihilist in us, yes, that is true.
Optimistic nihilism, that is our official stance here on the Disinformed podcast.
Amen.
And speaking of which, for those of you who are uninitiated, what we typically do on this show is we like to, or at least we have heretofore, things may be changing, but we like to delve into random esoterica, and in the course of explaining it to one another, we lie occasionally. That is the shtick. It is then incumbent on the co-hosts to try to ferret out the fact from the fiction and call the lies in situ as we see them. We don't necessarily always nail the dismount on that, unfortunately, but however, we do have a denouement at the end of the episode. We tell you what we lied about and why, and possibly why we will never do it again. So for this week, Monsieur Miguel has got a very interesting position to finagle us into, from my understanding.
That I do. And so I'm going to start off by saying, nice. I didn't get 100% into the spirit because I only have 4 lies.
So you got a different percentage. I'm not going to give away the topic. I'm sorry. I just got too excited. I usually am a little premature when involved with this subject, so it's...
I mean, it's fair because most of the time we just like to talk about it instead of actually doing it. And I like to do a little foreplay leading into it. So I understand your hesitation.
Stop. No.
Oh, man.
Big bucks, no whammies.
No
and
whammies.
Stop.
Oh, double whammy. See, if I was really graphically inclined, or graphically, if I can edit word the damn, I would have put, like, the little fucking whammy guy, like, running up as a short, but I'm not that creative.
I'll just take my clothes off, paint myself red, and I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Well, that would surely get us attention on YouTube, maybe even TikTok. I don't know how TikTok works, as evidenced by some prior updates. But
Don't
anyway.
call me Shirley.
I think I have finally found my wheelhouse, my specialty, if you will.
It's not good when he starts thinking. It's not good.
It's my specialty, my specialty, my specialty.
My special happy place. Oh. Anyway, while internet culture and the shenanigans that come from people yelling at each other over various optic cables that connect each other will never get old, I find that the occasional dip into the more obscene aspects of the human condition are also incredibly fascinating.
We're back to the aspects again. Why?
I typed that and I was like, he's going to do it. He's going to say it.
Like Lex Luger over here, just flexing.
So, specifically our obsession with sex and how to do it, from shoving eels or ginger up in our asses to get off, to males using whatever is within hand's reach to get it up when it refuses to.
Personally, I prefer Marianne to be shoved up as opposed to Ginger. She's a little smaller, more compact. The professor I don't want anywhere near my rectum.
Especially with that candlestick in the study.
That's... Yeah. My anatomy is more of an isthmus than an island, but Gilligan can still be there all he wants.
Ooh. Better than...
Peninsula, if you will.
Peninsular. Ooh. Today is no different. Today, I want to look into something I should have covered 92 episodes ago. And yes, I did the math. Instead of that pop fad of finding monoliths everywhere. That's one of my greatest regrets, is that it was the perfect setup for a perfect episode, and then I just talked about monoliths. So,
it's something else that was erect, so...
I mean, I guess that's true. Insert phallic, Freud turning in his grave, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I've got obelisk envy.
I'm going to look into the history of 69. I'm going to tell you when it started, what it means, and where it sprung up in pop culture.
How about you tell us where it finishes first?
Face, neck, and chest, to quote a co-host that is not here at the moment.
Technically, we're quoting Kevin Smith there, so I'm just going to leave that where it lay.
That's better. So for those sweet summer children who don't know what 69 means, I'm about to tell you.
Trigger warning, by the way.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. There is kind of a trigger warning for, like, it's not super obscene. We're not going into like feeging or anything crazy like that.
No, I was more, again, I just admitted I had control issues earlier, so I was mentioning.
Oh, that's fair.
Cover your eyes.
Don't cover your ears, though. We need those. So dictionary.com, because I actually got a lot of good information from that website, defines...
Is that the first lie?
No, it actually was true. Instead of just giving a definition, it actually talked about the origin of this phrase for a bit. So it was actually pretty informative.
Mm.
Dictionary.com defines 69 as, if sex was a number, it'd be 69. 69 is slang for when two partners arrange their bodies to perform oral sex on one another at the same time in a way said to look like the number 69.
Man, I've been doing it wrong.
I hope you haven't been doing 68.
No, I just, keep, thrusting my head into my partner's buttocks constantly and ask them to do likewise.
So 96?
I mean, I guess.
That's when we both curl up in the fetal position with our backs to each other. That's our favorite.
And then you cry and you're you have your own existential crisis.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Okay, that's more a 39, but we'll go with it.
Let's see. Why did I write? Okay.
I don't know.
That definition. Okay. Man, I feel like the desert after reading that definition. No moisture at all. But wait, there's more. Dictionary.com goes a bit further and gives a bit of the history behind the origin of 69.
Pun intended.
Yes. I also wrote little notes to myself. Yeah, they do. When I said goes further and then behind, and then I giggled. Like most modern aspects of our lives, 69 goes back to the French Revolution. The term is found in a dyslexia has struck again. Struck me, smite me.
Strucken is a German last name, not a French one. So just be mindful.
The term is found in a 1790 French work attributed to the revolutionary figure, and I'm not apologizing for my terrible French, Théron de Mercure, in a book titled in English as The Whore's Catechisms.
Catechisms?
Yeah. Is that how you say the word?
It's certainly not.
Catechism? Catechism. I don't know why I said catechism. Catechism. I even practiced that. I'm a disappointment.
Catechism damn near killed the kism.
The whore's catechisms.
I like
Their
that
words,
we went
not
soft
mine.
on the whore. Hard on the catechism.
Catechism.
What are you, a priest?
You got to go soft on the whore. Hard on the catechisms. In the book...
This is my body.
Oh, no.
I'm not intoxicated enough for this, guys.
Go grab another a pour seltzer water out of the fridge and let's get this tore up.
I put the seltzer water in a shed for a couple years. I hope that it fermented. In the book, the word so non nu, again French, or 69, is used. Dictionary.com doesn't go into much more detail than that, unfortunately. The website does mention the Kama Sutra, which I will touch upon that later.
Good.
Yes, I am.
Please don't touch upon it.
I'm touching upon it. I'm waggling my fingers in front of the camera, but I'm touching
Salad
upon
fingers. Here we go. You are sure this is not UrbanDictionary.com?
No, Dictionary.com said that the term, and that wasn't the only source that verified that it came from a book written by a French attributed. It didn't necessarily specify that it was that it was known. It's just been attributed to this French revolutionary figure.
The Maison
Well, the
d'Etroit.
problem is that Michael types in dictionary.com, and that's where this is coming from.
Oh, shit. No.
It's been plaguing bird watchers everywhere. It's a speckled titmouth bird feeder.
Oh, no. Not the speckled tit.
A blue-footed booby.
Those are my favorite. They're just the feet are so fucking brightly blue. It boggles my mind every time I see it.
Stop looking at me.
I can't. The use of 69 quickly spread to the English since they kind of had a whole war going on with the French for the next few decades. Captured French soldiers,
Sodders,
soldiers, for the fancy among us, would use the term around the English, and so it swept through the ranks immediately. Though much debate remains as to how fast. Its first English use was by a ship captain, Admiral William Johnson of the HMS La Verge, who...
Dick Johnson? Really, Michael?
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, okay.
No,
You're right.
Come on.
You're right. No, that was bullshit. I wanted to. I almost called him Rear Admiral William Johnson just because, but I was like, no, that would be even easier. I can't do that.
Good old Bill.
Also, La Verge is French for penis, so I wanted to take it just a step further.
Thank you for that. He thrusts his fists against the posts and still insists he sees the ghosts.
Exactly. So I'll just continue the lie because
please.
I sat and thought about it for a while. I was proud of it.
Big dick hurts.
I even looked up some like a naval battle of the Napoleonic Wars just for this. So its first English use was by a ship captain, Admiral William Johnson of the HMS La Verge, who described the naval battle of Trafalgar thusly: Lord Nelson's tactic of sailing alongside the French fleet for maximum carnage brings to mind the rather crude term the rank and file have picked up from the captured French soldiers. Soy na nu, that's probably how it's said, or 69, since the boats were almost close enough to touch, with our bows gazing upon the French sterns. So, yes, that was all bullshit.
And our cannon kept getting into their port.
God damn it, it keeps getting stuck. Honestly, it actually spread to the English language like a lot later, around the 1880s. And then I also mentioned that I wanted him to be a rear admiral because that is actually a real term. It's a real title.
It is, yes. They swabbed the poop deck.
That they do. From there, the use of 69 spread to the four corners of the English-speaking world, including America.
You're using spread an awful lot for this. I'm starting to get uncomfortable.
I can't say it gets better. There isn't a comprehensive list on when and where 69 is used in literature until its mainstream use in the 1980s, where two songs immediately come to mind. Granted, there are probably plenty more songs that reference 69, and you guys could probably even come up with a few of them. But these two songs, She Blew My Mind 69 Times by Rick James in 1982, and Summer of 69 by Bryan Adams in 1984, are the ones I immediately found in my research.
The Summer of 69 is a sexual reference to you.
Yes, actually,
okay.
Both of these are explicitly...
That is what the song is about.
Yes, they are explicitly related to the sex position.
I just don't talk to Bryan Adams at all, apparently.
He actually stated in an interview, because I wanted to prove that, because I wasn't sure myself, because I don't know a lot of the lyrics to that song. Mm-hmm. He stated in an interview, quote, "I think Summer of 69 is timeless because it's about making love in the summertime. 69 has nothing to do about a year, it has to do with a sexual position. At the end of the song, the lyric says, it's me and my baby in a 69. You'd have to be pretty thick in the ears if you couldn't get that lyric." So,
well, firstly,
yeah,
we've
Shane.
proven I've never listened to that song in my life. The only Bryan Adams song I can readily reference is the, and John will be with me on this as he listens, the theme to Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which is everything I do it for you.
Huh. I did not know that he wrote music for that. I love that movie. I haven't seen it in years, but I absolutely love that movie.
And technically, All for One, All for Love, the theme from the Three Musketeers, also featured Bryan Adams with Rod Stewart and Sting.
Wow.
And, so, I mean, that was just a triumvirate of joy that I could scarce recover from. So both of those songs are things I listened to in my childhood.
Huh.
I agree.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
Strange how John sounds like a pug these days. But I agree with you, John. Well done.
He makes a lot of good points. So before I continue our oral history of 69 and introduce the second half of the pair, the response of nice, I want to delve into the history of the position. How old is it? Well, as we learned from dictionary.com, spelled with a T, not a K, I did double check, it is very, very ancient. I don't like jokes sitting there. I have to kill them. It's like in my nature to just beat a dead horse with another dead horse.
Can't just let it writhe there. I have to put it out of its misery.
Put it out. I always have a pillow next to me just in case. Got to smother it.
It's an addiction for you, if you will.
Yeah, I would say. And nothing involving a Jane either. The position in the Kama Sutra was given the name Congress of a Sloth. According to dictionary.com's description of Kama Sutra, Yes, it was.
It's actually my favorite Depeche Mode song of all time.
Congress of a Sloth.
Congress of a Sloth.
It was very weird. It does kind of explain it, so I'll explain it in a little bit, but dictionary.com actually has kind of an explanation of it, and then I actually found the actual section, because I'm just saying actual bunch. I found the position. I found the description of the position straight from the Kama Sutra.
Straight out of Compton.
Yes, exactly. So, according to dictionary.com's description of the Kama Sutra, the position involves different or same-sex partners going down on each other, genitals or anus at the same time, usually achieved by lying on their side or one on top. That is unless the people involved take to the standing 69 or Eiffel 69, known variants of the move.
No.
Oh, we'll get into Eiffel 69.
Oh, God.
I looked that up, and there's a whole section on it. It's great. It's mwah, chef's kiss.
Well, if we keep delaying it like this, I'm gonna be blue.
Oh, dabu dee dabu die. I found the actual section from the Kama Sutra, position 23, and yes, I was disappointed that it was listed as position 23. Some women of the harem, when they are amorous. Yeah,
well, grooming wasn't that big back then. You had to make do with what you had. Now, granted, lice was a problem in certain places, but usually that's European, so don't judge them too harshly.
True. So, when they are feeling amorous, do the acts of the mouth on the yonis of one another.
Yoni?
Yes, we'll get to that.
You do, and you'll clean it up.
You typically would.
Of all the words you could have chosen.
Oh,
Yoni.
my yoni.
Ah.
Oh, my yoni.
We'll get into that because I actually looked up that word. Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy for you.
Mm-hmm. I did a lot of deep diving because, as I mentioned before pre-recording, yes, I'm full of these. Again, see? Exactly. Case in point.
If you'd done the 69, you wouldn't be. That's what we're advising.
Well, if John was here, he would ask me if I was high, because apparently I get horny when I'm high. We'll see that. That's what he said, like 10 different times, 10 different episodes.
I'm glad that you've taken a point to, re-explore that with us.
I gotta dig in deep about it. So they do the acts of the mouth on the yonis of one another, and some men do the same thing with women. The way of doing this, i.e. of kissing the yoni, should be known from kissing the mouth. When a man and woman lie down in an inverted order, i.e. with the head of one towards the feet of the other, and carry on this congress, it is called the Congress of the Sloth. The sloth is known for its laziness, and so this position is named to reflect the laziness of the sloth, since no effort is truly needed.
I disagree.
So I actually looked up what yoni means. It means many different things in Sanskrit, but in our case, it connotes the female sexual organs like vagina, vulva, uterus, etc. It was not specific. It just said all of them. Again,
yoni baloney.
Again, it was probably a male that came up with the term and probably just thought they were all the same. Didn't know the difference. It also has other meanings, which I thought were more interesting, like source, origin, womb, and then fountain. While looking this word up...
Fountain?
Yes, fountain.
Fountain.
Yes.
They were fetishistic back then.
Source, origin, they actually... I didn't really write this part down, but part of the idea with yoni, there's a kind of like yin and yang sort of feminine and masculine.
The yin, the yang, and the yoni. Yes, we have found the title of the episode.
Oh, no. Oh, great. But instead of it being, Confucianism, Taoism, that sort of thing, it's Indian. It's different cultures, but it's there's a feminine and a masculine aspect to the world, and that is represented by the yoni. And so,
where I'm having a hitch is that the female is the fountain.
Yes,
which typically involves a phallic structure. Unless we are incorporating the modern iteration of, as I said, some fetishistic material, i.e. that golden shower you're not so fond of.
Oh, I mean, there are times when when the fountain can go sploosh, so...
I know, I nearly died from it. We've discussed this.
Yes.
So it is
known.
It's very progressive thinking of them. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't find a lot of other history of just ancient sexual positions except for
How
India.
unfortunate.
And a lot of that has to do with how essentially progressive they were with sex in the cultures that were in India at the time. And I just thought it was very interesting. The only other record that I found that didn't necessarily involve or directly involve India was there was like an oil lamp from the time of the Roman Empire that featured a woman lying on top of a man. But I'll cover that in a second. I did want to talk, I actually looked up the word and looked at some history behind the word Yoni. I came across this fascinating little tidbit. The term horny is actually a Hellenized bastardization of Yoni that is influenced by the ancient Greeks, having been carried over to the Western world during Alexander the Great's conquest up to India.
Oh, I thought it was Hannibal.
No. No Hannibal. No, but there were elephants, but no Hannibal.
All right.
After Alexander the Great's armies refused to conquer further or cross into India, Alexander the Great sought peace with the Mauryan. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. If you're a historian and I'm not, just say in the comments how much of an idiot I am. If you're not a historian, say in the comments how much of an idiot I am.
Idiot.
Exactly. So Alexander the Great sought peace with the Mauryan Empire of northern India, and to maintain this peace, Alexander gifted the emperor Chandragupta with a massive harem of slave women from all over Alexander the Great's empire. Some historians estimate that number was well into the tens of thousands of women, because he conquered all the way from Greece all the way up to India. So you're thinking most of the Middle East. He conquered Egypt. He conquered all the way up to like the central plains of Central Asia, essentially, and he conquered all the way to India. So whenever you conquer a new place, if you take some, slave women for a harem, you're going to have a lot, considering that he conquered essentially most of the known world.
Michael, the patriarchy is just a made-up concept.
Oh, man, that's some incel talk going on right now. So,
I bet that the Gupta's first comment after they paraded about the first 60 or 70 of the slave women past to me was, actually, you smell different.
Can identify where they came from based off their smell. So, lavender.
Sloth me, daddy.
Oh, no. Alexander was given the title Alexander the Yoni by the Mauryan emperor for this
Fuck
gift.
off.
No fucking way.
Yeah, you're right. So the whole story is
Are
bullshit.
you even trying anymore, Michael?
Okay, so I'm a bit of a childish person. I mean, there's a reason why I'm writing this whole fucking episode. So sometimes I get a little carried with myself. William Johnson of the HMS Dick in French. So
Dick and
Would
French.
you just get married already? We just can't handle your virginity any longer on this podcast.
But I don't like to change who I am for other people's benefit.
Well, give that, find a small farm animal and give it some peanut butter at least. Seek shelter
geez.
anywhere you can find it. Love the one you're with.
So as I read the Kama Sutra definition, I got curious about that word yoni, and then while I was writing, I realized it kind of sounded similar to horny, and that's where I just made the connection.
Wow.
I had to justify it. Yeah, like I said, it was kind of a stretch. I'm glad I have a lot of random history trivia, because that was the only reason why I was able to get Alexander the Great.
We did talk about raptor veg previously, so if we're doing a yoni stretch, that's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Alexander the Yoni.
Let's see. I did write a little bit more about the Congress of the Sloth, stating that I don't think the author of that section of the Kama Sutra fully understood the position, and you kind of already said something like that too, Shane. To people that either haven't thought about it or haven't tried it out themselves, the position seems pretty easy since it involves laying down. However, Wikipedia, because they have several articles on this, addresses this fact by mentioning it can be awkward for partners who aren't similar in height, which is pretty true.
Amongst other things. I mean, there's any number of complications one can encounter with this.
Yeah. Wikipedia gives several more examples of ancient references to 69, but more the position rather than the number. In fact, Wikipedia quotes this giga chat of an author, because I was trying to, tickle John's fancy, quotes this author, a Gershon Legman, who wrote Orogenitalism, Oral Techniques in Genital Excitation, in the most appropriate year one can publish this work, 1969. He wrote that an oil... Yes. Yeah.
No.
There was a dude named Gershon Legman who wrote Orogenitalism in 19, and he published. There were several sections, and there were just various types of lovemaking, pretty much like a modern day Kama Sutra. But while his first article that he published was like in the 40s, I think, he gathered everything together and published it as a full book in 1969. So.
And was followed up by the Beach Boys hit, Good Vibrations, wherein they talked about, I'm getting them good vibrations. It's genital excitation.
Way down in Kokomo. That's right.
I'm very upset. It's in the Little Deuce Coupe, and if you knew any better, you'd be educated.
Well, I mean, we can get there fast, and then we'll take it slow.
Well, that's how you get pet sounds.
Oh, jeez.
Which is another complication to a 69, because if you're different species, also as problematic as a different height.
Yes, that is true.
Pygmy goats are really difficult to get to sit still in that position.
Or the screaming goats.
Now, the fainting goats, those are great.
Well,
you don't have to do anything.
They get very stiff, though, so they're hard to work with.
So do I. That's why it's fun to...
Oh, that's fair. Like matches like.
I don't want to be around anymore.
Join the club.
He wrote that, so this Gershon Legman wrote that an oil lamp from the period of the Roman Caesars featured a woman lying down, like I said. He also wrote about a Hindi sculpture from a temple in India showing, quote, this position with the man actually standing and holding the women hanging upside down in this from his shoulders.
Takes a lot of core strength.
Yes. That's also why I haven't really mentioned Standing 69, probably because that might be a different section in the Kama Sutra.
Also, it's very dangerous depending upon who's the one being, hung toward the ground.
That's fair.
You pile drive somebody in that position, they're not walking away from it. I'll just tell you that right now.
Jonah has not recovered from that head injury.
Suddenly, this is a far more interesting visual than you intended.
I picture him like sitcom style with the fucking bandage around his head, all confused and stuff. Maybe some retrograde amnesia for, some laugh track, hilarity.
Love, food, hate concussions. It's an open-faced sandwich.
Oh, no. Surprisingly, aside from the scant references in the above oil lamp, the only mention of this style of sex in the ancient, antiquity is only seen in India, in part because of the focus on sexual intercourse through their culture. The Kama Sutra is an excellent case in point, since there aren't other cultures that I could find. Wow, I don't know, I had a stroke there. Since there aren't other cultures that I could find... since there aren't other cultures that I can find that had transcribed sex as definitively and entirely as those from the Indian subcontinent.
It's unfortunate you use transcribe, but I know precisely what you mean, because it's like, stereo instructions, basically. Insert cable A into slot B, lather, rinse, repeat. Yeah, just
turn the page. So...
Now the hell's he got to do with anything?
So now that we understand 69 and its subsequent sex position, where does the nice response join in the fray? South Park is the furthest back reference I could find to nice. In an episode that premiered in October of 2006, Kyle, one of the main characters, reports an inappropriate student-teacher relationship to the local police station. When they ask for the name of the male teacher, Kyle says that it was a female teacher, specifically a kindergarten teacher. When the cops then respond each with a nice, cementing the connection between sex and the word nice.
Now, you can't just throw Officer Barbrady in here. You have an excellent impression, I'm sure.
I actually I don't think he was in that because I actually watched the scene. The show had progressed enough to where it wasn't just Barbrady. It was actually the police department.
Okay.
I didn't see him anywhere in there. So I presume that was the point in time when he was fired because he was like not a police officer for a couple seasons, something like that. So, surprisingly, Twitter is where we start to see an association between Nice and 69.
Twitter.
Yes. On September 4th, 2007, a user by the name of Philip Bunkins celebrated a milestone with a tweet, "I now have 69 followers. Nice. Going to eat some dinner mools." Mools, spelled Moules, for those unaware, is a Mexican dish for a sauce that is essentially spicy chocolate.
Do you want to correct him? Do you want to correct him on that one, Courtney?
I just don't even.
Mools,
no,
eh?
Okay.
You don't
Fair
know what
enough.
a mole is?
I guess I must have said it wrong.
A guaca?
I'm hurting deeply.
Sorry.
Dropping
What
Jonah
can I say?
again.
I'm white as fuck. So,
Read my mools today. Hey, horcata.
Oh man, that horchata, and the jalapenos.
Jalapenos.
Yeah,
Thank you.
God damn it.
And
I
fajitas.
can't even. Fajitas, the cholas. That's my favorite one. The
A
chimichangas.
quesadilla. Make you holla.
Oh no, chola make you hola. Make it hola.
Can.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you put in it.
Oh no. During the Great Recession of 2008, Twitter did not have the ease of access it does today. Retweeting was much more cumbersome since, by all accounts, the concept didn't exist. There wasn't a fancy retweet button, as that had come out in a limited sense about a year later in 2009. Before that time, a retweet was you copying and pasting the original tweet in your own tweet, which was difficult as you were constrained by 140 characters per tweet. Thus,
wasn't that a quote tweet?
Essentially, that's what it was, but like people were calling it a retweet. So I don't even know if quote tweets were a thing back then either. I don't really use Twitter, but I have a source in the show notes that actually I delved into the history of the retweet just to make sure I wasn't fucking it up. The we tweet. Queen
Queek.
The Queen Queek we tweet. It's only $200. It's a whole weekend, and you learn a lot about yourself.
I'm sorry, I have to spend $300 on microphones. I can't spend that.
Ooh, that's pretty awkward. Well, you're gonna have to sacrifice somewhere. You either get the Queen Queek we tweet, or you get a pretty decent microphone and probably a shitty interface.
But what about a Dairy Queen Queek we tweet?
Oh, I mean, you can go to the Dairy Queen Queek we tweet. God, that's getting hard to do.
Yeah, we're not cunning linguists, as evidenced by this show.
My ears are bleeding.
Join the club.
So, like I said, there wasn't a retweet button, and in order to retweet something, I almost got it. To retweet was essentially, like you said, a quote tweet. And then you had to mention that it was a retweet. People just started shortening it from retweet to just RT, tagging the person and then quoting their tweet. Okay. So because of that, and because of the constraint on size of, posts or tweets, your responses had to be short.
Sizists.
Sorry. The first known tweet was with a nice was in early May of 2009. The tweet wrote, "The sexual position formerly known as 69 is now 96. Due to the economy, the price of eating out has now gone up too. Sorry, they spelled two wrong. They spelled two wrong, and so I focused on that, and I read a word wrong. Lamau is how they ended it. The retweet, which had the copy-pasted tweet, like I said earlier, only added Lamau nice RT. However, the Daily Dot article, which gave an in-depth look or a deep dive, winks at camera, at the at the history of 69 in media, doesn't count that tweet as the first true nice response, because it wasn't a response to 69, it was a response to a 69 joke. So in this really deep, in-depth article, they actually specified that it didn't count. The first real retweet came from football Twitter. On October, yes, and you'll kind of understand in a moment. On October 4th, 2009, at JustBritney26 retweeted, ha 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 ha, nice, to at YokelC's tweet, illegal use of hands on the tight end, number 69. And that's actually the first Twitter group that spread the 69 and the nice response around. Later that year, we had tweets about an Arizona Cardinals football game where people retweeted nice to a sports commentator's comment of, sooner or later, number 69 will be in your face. That was a commentator, and so it blew up on Twitter. Another round of retweets came in April 2010 in response to a golf commentator who said on air that golf legend Tiger Woods managed a 69 throughout all of this. And from there, it just spread to all corners of Twitter. One important cultural milestone in the history of 69 came in the history of 69. Blah.
I did
That's
not
what I say.
Blah blah blah.
Well, actually, more if I was saying that during 69, I would, woo! But neither here nor there. My voice cracked. One important cultural milestone came in 2016 when then President Barack Obama tweeted an infographic about the percentage of Americans that wanted the Senate to hold hearings and vote on Obama's Supreme Court pick. The infographic had 69 written in big numbers with an added hashtag right below it, do your job. Obama's accompanying tweet, Senate leaders should listen to the American people, hashtag do your job. About 800 people, about a third of all retweets, simply added, nice. As an aside, ex-President Trump also tried his hand at saying nice, but failed. Instead of responding nice to a 69, he commented nice as a response to him getting an obstruction of justice concerning collusion with the Russians.
No.
Yeah, he was like, they're trying to get me for obstruction of justice after, these fake phony phone calls. Nice. And he got reamed on Twitter because people were like, you're doing the internet wrong. You're not supposed to say nice there. So, now we finally come full circle. The meme of 69 in its final form. Or is it? Is 69 the end-all be-all of this joke? There is better. When I brought up... Yes.
I may not believe this.
Remember when you called bullshit on, the Eiffel 69? I did mention...
No.
When I brought up the dictionary.com earlier, I did mention several variations of 69, the standing 69 and the Eiffel 69. While the standing 69 is an obvious variant, I was insanely curious about the Eiffel 69. Yes, it is a combination of the Eiffel Tower, or of an Eiffel Tower, and 69. But what is Eiffel 69?
I was like, do you have to be dangled from the ceiling onto someone who's standing?
I want to quote this Jezebel article, in part because I could not do it any better justice compared to this masterpiece of an article.
Oh, no.
I really hope that you're using, secret tabs here. Incognito mode is a requirement for you.
Oh, I like confusing the shit out of my Google search history.
I'm sure.
Beautiful.
That's why your research job is paying you so well.
Yeah, exactly.
Your poor FBI agent Dan is just like, what the fuck is happening?
The best part is
today?
they'll see me, like, if he access my camera, he can just see me sitting there just, like, plain-faced, like, just staring at while I'm reading a description of Eiffel 69. So I have cut some pieces out of the article because it is quite long, mostly to cut down on time, because it is involved and quite detailed. So let's begin. It opens with, quote, why climb Everest? Pioneering mountaineer George Mallory said, because it is there. The mountaineer's lesson, always strive to climb higher, is lost on many sex havers. When it comes to boning, complacency sets in early. Innovation takes a backseat to comfort. Night after night, we satisfy ourselves with missionary style or some other position in which our bodies move as little as possible. These are the baked, boneless, skinless chicken breasts of sexual positions. It doesn't have to be this way. There's a cure for the sexual doldrums, and it is called Eiffel 69. The Eiffel 69 is a combination of the classic 69 arrangement, but the newer, but no less essential Eiffel Tower spit roast setup. It is the jalapeno lobster jambalaya of sex positions. A soupy tangle simply too hot for any but the adventurous palate. Gross and fishy.
Jambalaya? Hold on.
Jambalaya. Did I say it right? Am I good? Do I pass?
Just finish this. Just go.
Yeah.
Gross and... yes?
The horchata.
The horchata. Give me some of that horchata with the jalapeno. The jalapeno lobster jambalaya.
Oh my god.
Gross and fishy for some, admittedly. A rare invigorating...
What the?
I went Super Saiyan. A rare, invigorating delicacy for others. To execute an Eiffel 69, you need...
You broke Shane.
I'll let him collect himself, because I'm about to say how many people are needed for the Eiffel 69.
No.
You need 4 people. Stamina is essential. A raised platform of sorts is necessary. Perhaps a pile of throw pillows, perhaps a low table or desk, or maybe a large stack of jizz-crusted vintage titty mags. It's up to you.
One does not simply walk into porn stores.
Not with that attitude. The first 2 participants must stand, facing each other with the platform in between them. With legs spread wide for balance, their hands are touching in a classic high five. Donald ducking is allowed. Just so you know, Donald ducking is allowed, as long as the lower genitals are fully accessible. If a standing participant has a vagina, they wear a strap-on. If they have a penis, it is erect and ready to thrust into an orifice.
Not after this.
Again, not with that attitude. That's why only a few people climb Mount Everest and everyone stays in their homes.
I don't even set up base camp.
Well, that's what they're doing now. That's what the raised platform is, of jizz-crusted vintage titty mags. Hell, they can even wear a strap-on if they have a penis and pretend they have 2 dicks and switch back and forth yelling, I have 2 dicks. Eiffel 69 is about creativity. The other 2 participants must arrange their bodies on the raised platform in a variation of the 69 position. The 69ers are also being penetrated by the 2 people standing up and high-fiving each other, either anally or vaginally, depending on gender and preference. For variety, the 69ers may pause their tongue-based ministrations on each other and fillet the real or artificial cocks of the standing people. Salad tossing is permitted, but may be impractical.
Oh my god.
Depending on neck flexibility. The article does not mention what salad tossing is, and I didn't look it up.
Of all the things, Michael, of all the
I know,
things.
I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't look it up.
How do you not just know what that is?
Because I'm a
I know what
closeted...
that is.
Well, Michael,
Okay,
allow
well-
me, and we can quote Chris Rock on this directly, which having your salad tossed is having your asshole eaten out with either jelly or syrup. I prefer syrup.
Okay. The more you know. And now I can see why that might be impractical, because neck flexibility.
Uh-huh.
So while it does not mention salad tossing as evidence from before, it does list a few musical choices to play during the act. Quote,
No.
quote, you don't have to play Eiffel 65 songs in the background while you attempt this position, but it doesn't hurt. Chumbawamba.
Oh, it'll hurt.
The only reason why I included this section was because we talked about Chumbawamba recently in Tub Thumping, and so Chumbawamba is an acceptable but inferior alternative.
I would much prefer to listen to Chumbawamba's Drip, Drip, Drip Goes the Water, as opposed to Tub Thumping, if I were going to be engaged in this sort of activity.
That's fair. Because getting knocked down and getting up again kind of
Yeah,
seems
I was
like
like,
you're just
I
having a bad
defy
time.
you to name another fucking Chumbawamba
Oh
song.
no, not at all. I'm just happy that I got Chumbawamba said correctly on the first try. Playing The Boys Are Back in Town on repeat is also totally fine, but if you play Kid Rocks all summer long, everyone has to stop having sex immediately and go to prison.
What if we play Bad Company's self-titled song, Bad Company?
I can see that working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Jungle, maybe?
Ooh, they do have fun and games. I was going to list a couple more evolved 69 positions, but honestly, all others after that, Journey kind of pale by comparison.
Journey?
Damn near killed her.
I know, I just...
You'll be living by a prayer after that position, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Union has been on strike.
Not on it. Bye.
She's down on its luck. It's tough.
I was back there with the wheel in the sky that keeps on turning, Journey. Like, that's...
Ooh.
I don't stop believing. Or bequeathing.
Hold on. Don't stop bequeath. Ooh.
We've killed Courtney like 87 times over. So
better than 69 times.
49 times. We fucked that beast.
525,600
times, yeah.
Tonight we're gonna party like it's 1969.
I did find an article on the more comfortable and less awkward 68 position, where the
did you now?
Yes, it was on like a Mirror, like I think Mirror's like a UK newspaper or something like that. No, unfortunately not.
Yes.
Where only the top person gets off because they are lying face up instead of face down, like in 69. It's supposed to be comfortable, and it's supposed to be more about one person gratifying the other. So instead of them facing each other, they're kind of rotated where they're both facing upwards. I don't know how that's more comfortable.
What?
That is literally what it wrote. And if you don't believe me, listeners, you can look at the show notes because I have it there for everyone to read and get disappointed at.
I just want you...
Are you describing it bad, or does it not make sense?
Yeah, I was
I don't...
Tell me how this works.
I don't understand
Explain it to me, Ricky.
All right. Hold on a second. Let me... I'm literally just going to pull it because this is honestly
Please don't pull it. Hand check.
No!
So 1 second, I will show you it.
I don't have 1 second.
What the hell?
Yeah, like I said, they are still in the, inverted positions, but they're both facing upwards. Apparently, that is easier to do.
I don't think they understand what's supposed to be happening, considering it looks like it's the woman.
Purple's neck is gonna hurt.
It's the woman that's on the bottom. So if this is a man being gratified,
it's gonna hurt. Yes, because
it's gonna hurt everybody. I mean,
the geometry does not work. It does not.
The twig and the berries shouldn't superimpose.
Just gotta dig deep.
Queening is the empowering sexual position all women need. Can we talk about queening? I'm intrigued.
Okay, all right, fine. I'm clicking it and I'm reading it.
I look forward to your malware here, Michael.
Okay, all right. No, it's I guess it is the mirror. Okay, grab your crown,
Hello,
ladies.
FBI?
Yes,
Let's see.
ma'am. What are you wearing? Tell us about your assets.
Khaki?
Oh, that's so boring. Okay, you want to know what queening is?
Tell me.
It's face sitting. That's it. That's all it is.
Oh,
it's just,
man.
It's supposed to put the woman in a position of empowerment and control like a queen.
You can do
Yeah,
that.
we heard you say that's so boring, Michael. Okay.
Well, yeah, compared to Eiffel 69, this is just a plain old vanilla face sit.
I just want everybody to know that you can queen with this podcast if you're inclined. John's told you before, just get yourself some subwoofers and just enjoy the melodies.
This is my 13th reason. I'm done.
Oh, no. So, this is the best time to say we are sponsored by BetterHelp.
Well, this is my 13th step, so I guess we can just meet in the middle.
Oh, no. So that was my history of 69.
Oh, you finished.
Yes. And it was about as exciting as you'd expect.
Yeah, because I didn't know it happened.
Anticlimactic.
As per
as
usual.
I am always. Yes.
Yep. It was done before I knew it was started.
It's the lack of consent for me.
typically.
I guess that's fair. I should have asked. I mean, I did say at the beginning, but I didn't explicitly ask, and for that, I apologize. So, okay. You guys got all but one lie.
Can I
Or two.
I have
You
one.
got 2 lies.
I got a stab.
Okay.
The Cardinals broadcast about the person, 69 getting up in your grill.
No.
That seems
That was true.
why the Cardinals?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It was a Cardinals and then I think Minnesota Vikings or something
Okay.
like that. And apparently either an old quarterback or a tight end from the Vikings had the 69 jersey. So there you go.
Well, a quarterback would not be wearing a 69 as a number.
You're right.
I'll tell
You're
you
right.
that from my knowledge of sports balls.
So yeah, so then it had to have been because it involved our quarterback at the time, Kurt Warner,
Mhm.
and I guess the tight end from the Minnesota Vikings. So
I think you're meaning like a defensive end.
I keep saying tight end because that's what the tweet said.
You're
so.
fixated on the end being tight.
Mm-hmm. Toit like a toiger.
Watertight, in fact. Like a duck's butthole.
Whoa. Cloaca. Ooh.
Damn near killed her. Courtney, if you have anything to stab other than your eyes.
The defeated look on her face. Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry.
Come on, you've survived a standing 69. You can make it through this.
You survived vegan.
It didn't take, that's really the disappointing part.
Oh, I see.
I mean, yeah, I don't blame you.
Not the neck power you expected out of your husband, I see.
Needs to work on that flexibility.
No, I got nothing.
Okay.
I wouldn't wish that on a broke dick dog.
So you got how the 69 spread to English-speaking countries. The whole thing about Admiral William Johnson.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that is bullshit. Congress of the Sloth. Sorry. Sloth is the lie. It's still Congress of, but it was Congress of a Crow. It did not explain why it was Congress of a Crow, but it said Congress of a Crow.
Well, if you've
I
ever
think
watched...
that's what a group of crows is called, a congress, actually.
No, it's a murder, as far as I'm aware. A murder of crows.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly certain.
But if you've ever seen a crow eat a worm out of an apple, it's very similar.
Huh.
Or just pull them out of the ground. That happens.
Okay. I can see that now,
Get a little-
actually.
They use their pecker to,
Oh!
get the stuff out.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. The pecker to get the pecker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Pecker the pecker.
sloth.
I picked a pack of pickled peckers.
So you guys made fun of me for pronouncing mole wrong, because it wasn't mole. It was mules, which isn't the Mexican dish mole. I was going off of the fact that you guys just presumed that I can't pronounce words correctly.
Well, that's been proven.
Yeah, so I gamed the system a little bit. New meta. Take advantage of the fact that you guys don't know, that I can't pronounce words to save my life.
No, we know that you can't pronounce words to save your life. That's
exactly
been documented.
So mules, I think it's pronounced, are French for muscles. I think the person who tweeted that was Belgian. I don't think they, in the Daily Dot article that went into a lot of detail about the history of 69, they mentioned that he was Belgian, but I don't think they ever confirmed that this person was. But moules with fries, or moules frites or something like that, are considered a national dish of Belgium, which is mussels and French fries, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So
Moulet.
mole.
Moulet.
Yeah, mole. That's...
Moulez-vous coucher avec...
Whoa. We can't say that on this podcast.
I just did.
Ooh.
And you won't edit it out. I guarantee it.
I was tempted to censor at least one of those words, but I'm like, well, we'll see. We'll see if future me is that lazy. We'll see. Yeah.
You make less cuts than, a cross-eyed rabbi? A moil. There you go.
We got a
Bad
special.
joke.
We got a special 2 for the price of 1.
That was
okay. Cool. I was like, oh shit.
That's
that
the
wasn't
rabbi
best.
that you definitely give a tip to.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So those were my lies. And that was my episode. Oh, I did also lie about the Yoni. I forgot I skipped that part.
I was like, yeah, hold on. That was
yeah,
3.
Yeah. That was, yeah. So you guys got the Yoni history. You got the 69
we
history.
got the Yoni.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. You got that fountain going. Spaloosh. No.
Yeah, it's like a
That
Gallagher concert in here.
Ugh.
So you gotta cover up with a raincoat.
Ugh. I'm disgusted
Shamu?
in myself. Oh, no.
Sham wow.
Shamu just grabbed the person and dragged them to the bottom of the tank. The murder.
No, just Chuck Testa.
Just Chuck Testa.
It's the most
in a
realistic mount under the water.
Oh, no.
Aqueous mount.
Chuck Testa pokes his head out of the blowhole and is like, nope, Chuck Testa killed her. Terrible.
Chuck Testa
Terrible.
with a paring knife.
Oh, no. Well, he would have to know how to eviscerate things because that's part of his business.
And the appropriate place to get sawdust.
Mm-hmm. And how?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Michael, for what was an absolutely uproarious end to our present format. What a wonderful way to go out.
Nice.
Spurting all over everything. Just uncontrollably.
Just like the talisman that's right behind me.
R.I.P. Pete.
Oof.
Or R.I.P. and Pete's. R.I.P. and pepperonis.
R.I.P. and pepperonis.
R.I.P. and Pete Peronis.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh. All right, that's enough. We're gonna kill this dog. Let's turn it.
Old Yeller it. Right behind the shed.
Almost used a John phrase, which is not appropriate on this show. So, we're moving on. But in any event, thank you, Michael. It's probably the first time you've heard that after 69, but for all of you playing the home game, we hope you enjoyed this about as much as everyone else who's endured a 69. Generally involved with somebody in this show. But it was a delightful time for me, and that's all that matters. Always, apparently.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I entertained at least one person,
Yeah.
and I didn't scare Courtney away too badly.
You
Badly?
must not have been paying attention.
I guess not.
She will never
I mean,
recover.
she's still here. She's still here. And since we're sponsored by BetterHelp, she can utilize the link down below and... never mind.
No, I think you're sponsored by Better Hump, but we're going to figure that one out later on if Shamu gets involved. So...
Dead inside.
I'm reading The Walking Dead. That's on the big thing on the door.
Connections.
Yeah, appreciate you. Okay, well, thank you all for being here. As I said, if you enjoyed this experience, and I can't imagine you did, you can give us a comment. You could like, subscribe, rate, and review, because, of course, we would love to hear from you, as always. We do have a link in the show notes to all of our relevant socials, so you can go peep us out there. I'm sure all of those will be dying soon as well, as we're just going to wither like a underwatered vine, and eventually it's going to fall off. John's worst nightmare.
Oh, no.
But we appreciate...
Prophecy has been revealed.
The gypsy was right.
Oh, no.
So, in any event, thank you for keeping up with us there. Of course, on YouTube, we will have our occasional nonsense happening over there. Usually Disinformed After Dark every wonderful Wednesday. New episodes of this podcast winging your way every lovely Monday. If you subscribe, if you haven't, come on. Come on.
Come on.
You know you wanna.
Kevin.
How to respond. Okay.
Your name is Kevin. Hit subscribe. How many Kevins listen to this podcast?
It's a kid with an ant farm. All right. I think that is finally going to skewer this thing. Spit roasted pig.
Nice.
Okay. For the Pirates Panty Cove over here, Mr. Michael. I think we're going to finally bid you a fond farewell, a disgusted adieu, if you will. So for the Disinformed podcast this week, I'm Shane.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm John.
And I'm John. Ah, yeah.
I'm John.
And Zippity Zoop, we're out of here.